Modernists who want to secularize the Muslim world use the slogan, humanity before religion. Here are 3 reasons why that makes absolutely no sense. First, all the science confirms that belief in a supreme creator God is natural to us as human beings. Allah has created humanity upon the fitrah, which means that belief in God and submission to Him are inseparable from being human. So you cannot say humanity before religion, they come together. Second, humanity before religion is supposedly about charity, peace, and tolerance. But these values come from religion. They don't come from humanity. You can be a human being and cheat, steal, and kill. For some people, that's actually their human nature, and it's religion that's holding them back. That means religion has to come before humanity. Third, humanity before religion means atheism before religion. If you prioritize humanity, you are prioritizing a lack of religion, which means prioritizing secular atheism. Why would any rational person do something so foolish?
The idea that moral intuition and moral reasoning should overview dogma is simple and one that distinguishes the skeptic from the dogmatist. It's also the exclusive reason we see good people in history do evil things. Steven Weinberg said, "With or without religion, we will have good people doing good and evil people doing evil. But for good people to do evil, that takes religion." And that makes sense. For a good person to commit an evil act contrary to his conscience, he must think there is a higher authority commanding him to do so. No wonder then, all over history we see examples of dogmas making good people commit heinous acts. Prime examples are Nazi Germany, Joseph Stalin's and Mao Zedong communism, and the ISIS Caliphate. Ironically, we can also note that to Daniel's own views.
Recently, Daniel shared this joke on Twitter. "Oh man, I missed the International Day Against Homophobia. The best way to celebrate such a beautiful, momentous, important day is the Muslim way. Recreational base jumping." Daniel Hakikachu here is referencing the Islamic punishment to execute gay people by throwing them off a high place and making their punishment a spectacle for people. Do you believe that slavery is an ideal system? Do you believe that that there should be slaves in a society? Do you think slavery is okay?
Yeah, I mean, slavery is something that I do not find to be immoral. Is there really a fundamental difference between wage labor and slave labor? Is there a difference between owning someone versus renting someone? Renting someone is worse, because think about the difference between owning a car and renting a car. When you rent a car, you drive it, in a very abusive kind of way, as opposed to owning it where that's your investment, you care about it.
Look, I'll ask you, David, a question. If you somehow had power over the entire world, okay, or you had become the dominant superpower, and your nation had this weapon, this futuristic weapon that could subjugate everyone throughout the world, okay, with the click of a button, even more advanced than nuclear warheads. You somehow have this technology as a Christian. Would you use that technology to actually create supremacy for Christendom, to make the word of Jesus Christ all high in the world? Would you institute policies that privileged Christians and that actually privileged the word of Jesus Christ? Is this something that you would pursue as king of the world?
This guy admits that if he had a nuclear weapon, he would subjugate the world under Islam. This is what he admits. And he thinks he's so smart that he can morally justify that. Yes, guys. How smart you are, Daniel. In these examples, we see Daniel revealing a lack of empathy and failure in moral reasoning that is so dramatic, is almost pathological. Yet Daniel doesn't seem to have mental health issues. He exhibits a high rhetorical competence in debates. The explanation for this titanic failure in moral reasoning is dogma. He first blindly believes in radical Islam and then supplements his blind faith in rationality to convince others. This type of guided mental process explains why he is so outrageous in moral reasoning. So, the argument that people should put humanity first is rational, to avoid evil and to allow skepticism that will screen blind faith, that is dogma. After saying that, let's analyze the naive arguments Daniel presented and highlight his admission he is not a skeptic, although his organization is ironically called the Muslim skeptic.
Modernists who want to secularize the Muslim world use the slogan, humanity before religion. Here are 3 reasons why that makes absolutely no sense. First, all the science confirms that belief in a supreme creator God is natural to us as human beings. Allah has created humanity upon the fitra, which means that belief in God and submission to Him are inseparable from being human. So you cannot say humanity before religion, they come together.
Yet religion doesn't mean God, Daniel. Any religion or your religion. You forgot to tell us. Maybe we should put Hinduism before human nature. Or just your religion. Daniel? Your religion, you mean, not Hinduism. Although true, humans have an innate disposition to believe in God because evolution tunes biological beings to see agency everywhere, the argument humanity first aims to highlight that humans should value moral intuition and moral reasoning over dogma. The fact that religion is part of humanity doesn't negate the merit of this moral proposition in the slightest.
Second, humanity before religion is supposedly about charity, peace, and tolerance. But these values come from religion. They don't come from humanity. You can be a human being and cheat, steal, and kill. For some people, that's actually their human nature, and it's religion that's holding them back.
Humanity, he says, before religion is supposedly about charity, peace, and tolerance. But these values come from religion. Humanity before religion is referring to moral intuition and moral reasoning over dogma. Moral intuition and moral reasoning obviously don't come from religion. So, Daniel, the first part of your lazy, non-analytical, childish argument is wrong. Let's go to the second part. Then he says, they don't come from humanity. You can be a human being and cheat, steal, and kill. For some people, that's actually their human nature, and it's religion that is holding them back. This is a claim that moral intuition and moral reasoning most often lead to immorality, and religion most often corrects that. That is simply false. Human beings have a very high cognitive and emotional ability to recognize moral truth, exactly because morality is related to suffering and well-being, that are easily detectable by humans. The dissonance we see in this general rule when it comes to dogmatists like Daniel is not because they cannot recognize morality, it's because dogma trumps their moral intuition and reasoning. Also, dogma doesn't care about human well-being, but for the well-being of the parasitic idea it serves. That's why it's often immune to moral facts. The reason Daniel gave to support his false premise that human nature has defective means to recognize morality was because some human beings cheat, steal, and kill. That's of course a non sequitur. Just because some do a certain thing, that doesn't negate a general rule. Moreover, scarcely even the people who cheat, steal, and kill doesn't recognize those are morally wrong. Daniel's argument is essentially because there are psychopaths and sociopaths in this world, that means humanity cannot detect right from wrong. Therefore, we need the Quran to guide us, like it guided ISIS, the Taliban, and like it guides the mullahs in Iran, his own home country, the one his parents escaped from to go to America, to a secular country. So, this is his argument, essentially. Because we have sociopaths, that means that humanity cannot detect right from wrong. But I, Daniel, know what's right from wrong because I read the Quran. And what I concluded is that slavery is better than employment. Offensive jihad is justified. Women should not be educated. This is what you understood, eh? This
Islam is what can produce human happiness in this life and salvation in the next. So it's universalist in that these values should spread.
These values are here. Daniel Hakikachu is a guy that dreams a world where Islam will dictate all aspects of social life in a totalitarian way. At the same time, he will enforce Islam to the world with offensive jihad the same way the UN is enforcing human rights. That is what he says. Okay, it's exactly what an evil villain would have said. Islam, the religion that makes regular people speak like evil villains from the Magneto. Islam made Daniel Haqiqatjou the Magneto. like in Batman, you know, there is a sad story behind every villain. The tragic story how Daniel became a villain is he read the Quran. Joker fell into acid. Daniel just read the Quran. He was walking and suddenly he saw a book and he said, "What's that? Let me read the first page." Oops! And he became Magneto. Very funny.
And sometimes that requires imposition, right? But this kind of imposition is shared. This idea that values should be imposed is shared by the Western tradition. So there's not really a difference there.
The evidence we have from the real world clearly shows that moral intuition, moral reasoning are more reliable than dogma when it comes to morality. In fact, almost all major historical tragedies we had as human species were when humans trusted dogma over their moral reasoning. Communism, Nazi, and political Islam are prime examples of that. A product of moral reasoning is the Declaration of Human Rights. A product of dogmatic reasoning is Sharia. It's clear what produces better moral results.
That means religion has to come before humanity. Third, humanity before religion means atheism before religion. If you prioritize humanity, you are prioritizing a lack of religion, which means prioritizing secular atheism. Why would any rational person do something so foolish?
Okay, Daniel, you think you are smart, but you are utterly stupid, my friend. Okay, sorry for bursting your bubble, but you don't have it, my friend. You are not meant to think. Go do something with your hands. You said something about being foolish. Okay, now let me tell you who is the foolish. If you put religion before reasoning and intuition, how you know the religion you believe is true then, Daniel? You admit blind faith, in other words. You admit you are not a skeptic. Therefore, you admit you are foolish. In fact, you are so foolish that you cannot even understand by accusing others of being foolish in this way is an admission that you are the foolish. Do you understand the tragedy you are in, Daniel? How the Greek tragedy you are. You don't understand that. My friend, when I refute you, I'm not just refuting you, I am making a Greek tragedy of you, Daniel. That's how smart you are. I mean, it's like the universe conspires to expose your endless stupidity. So, don't be that confident. You are utterly Stupid. So far, Daniel, I made, I don't know, 8 videos about you. I don't refute you, my friend. I make a comedy of you. I make a Greek tragedy of you, Daniel. That's how much I destroy you. You are like a worm that I crush with my feet, and then I dig a hole and I put this worm 3 feet underground. I am molesting you intellectually, Daniel. Okay? So don't be confident, my friend. Make a turn in your life. Go a vacation away from Islam for a month and get better. Okay. Thank you very much.